Hi there and welcome to Mr. Mitchell's Mathematics. Today we're going to be looking at how to divide whole numbers by fractions. Make sure you've got a pen and paper ready so that you can do the necessary calculations in this video. So, you might be sitting in an exam and get a problem like this. 4 divided by a half or 7 divided by 2/3. Now initially this might be a bit confusing to understand what exactly that means. The simplest way of putting it is how many halves go into 4 or how many 2/3 go into 7. Now if you picture that in terms of circles, you can imagine that 8 halves make up 4 whole circles. 8 halves make up 4 whole circles. So the answer is 8. But let's try and find a more rigorous way of working this out so that when the fraction and the whole number are not so perfectly aligned, it still works. So there's kind of a two-step process to doing this. Initially what you do is you rewrite the equation so that everything is in fractions. So you do 4 over 1 divided by 1 over half. So 4 over 1 is just 4 in once, and we've left the half exactly as it was. So this is exactly the same expression in the blue and in the orange. And now what we do is we do 4 over 1 times, and now we flip the half, so it's 2 over 1. And this is a lot more straightforward because what we can now do is we can times the 4 times 2 and 1 times 1. This equals 8 over 1. And 8 over 1, simply put, is 8. So let's recap. The first thing we do is we change everything into fractions in this step. The next thing we do is we flip one of the fractions and times them across. This is in this one. The last thing we do is simplify. In reality, however, you can probably do the first one in your head, and so this actually becomes a two-step process with just step 2 and step 3. Let me show you on the following example. So 7 divided by 2/3 is the same as 7 over 1 times 3 over 2. Notice that I've skipped this section here and I've just jumped straight into section 2 just to make it a bit quicker. And then what I do is 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 2 is 2. So therefore, in this case, because it doesn't fit perfectly, we get a final answer that's a fraction, 21 over 2, which as a mixed number is 10.5. Great. So I hope that was straightforward. Like always, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to give you your own example. Try and work it out, and in a moment I'll show you how I worked it out. So this is how I did it. I did 9 over 1 times 5 over 2. I then times the 9 and the 5 and the 1 and the 2. This gives me a new fraction of 45 over 2. 45 over 2, which can be simplified as 22 over a half. Nearly got me on that one. Okay, great. I hope you got the right answer there. Let me leave you with 3 other questions for you to try on your own. Pause the video now and I'll show you the final answers in a few seconds. So these are the final answers. What you have for the first one is 10 over 1 times 4 over 3. That equals 40 over 3. The next one is 15 over 1 times 7 over 2. That equals 105 over 2. And the last one is 18 over 1 times 9 over 5. That equals 162 over 5. All of these you can simplify into mixed numbers if you want to, though you don't necessarily need to. This is 11 over 3. This is 54.5. This is 32 and 2/5. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Like always, if you have a comment or a query, leave a comment in the section below, and make sure to subscribe to Mr. Mitchell's Mathematics. Have a great day.